I want to talk a little bit about gems today and how they can help you with your work and what you're doing as an artist, a jewelry builder, and any of that. So I'm Susan Lenart, and I have been building jewelry and adornment and studying it all over the world for over 35 years. So one of the cool things is about 10 years ago, I really got interested in gems. It's like I used to love starting off with like talisman and artifacts, and I eventually moved into gems. And I just want to talk a little bit about gems today because I have been, about 5 years ago, I actually started working with a gemologist. I did a deep dive into the study of gems, and I really kind of got to walk the Tucson show and keep in contact. I'm not a gemologist, but I always love researching properties of gems from a scientific basis, but also for me as an artist. Like, I believe in the power of gems and how they work and operate for people, my customers, and everyone in the world, you know. So gems, they really specifically are made from minerals in the earth, and they were created by extreme pressure and heat, which is how these gems came about. There's some really good books on gems. I really love this Jeweler's Directory of Gemstones, and it talks about the different properties and really what miracles it took for these gems to be created. Some of them are like earthquakes and, you know, extreme weather all happening at the same time. So all the different gems are developed naturally and very uniquely in so many different ways. So this is a pretty good book. I love using this. I love this using, you know, when I shop for gems, when I look for gems. So when I started studying gems about 5 years ago, I really feel like I have gotten such a good eye at knowing what's good, what's not good. At the beginning, I really didn't have any idea. You know, I just knew what I liked as artists, right? That's how we work as artists. We know what we like. I actually love B-grade gems. It's really exciting to me, you know, rather than even the super clear in clarity. So it gives it a little character, a little personality, those B grades. So that's always what I hunted down. So for me, I started traveling to India. I just did a beautiful trip to India where I actually got to look at many, many gems. And, you know, in India, really is, it's gems are just part of the life there because there's so many beautiful gems, so many cutters, so many people, so many different styles of gems are there. When I was there, it was really cool. I had a chance to visit the Taj Mahal, which I know it's such an overrated commercial place. When I went there, it was packed. I almost wanted to like leave it out of my itinerary, but I decided to go. And the reason I love the Taj Mahal is that I realized the best time to see it is it was built to be looked at when the sun is coming up or when the sun is going down, which is, it's too ridiculously busy at that time. But literally why the Taj Mahal exists in India is that there's so many beautiful things about it, but it literally is a transparent building. So when you see it with the sun coming up or down, they actually have gems embedded in the structure of the Taj Mahal on the inside and the outside. So not only do you see the building shining with its transparency, but you see the beautiful gems just shining out through with the sun shining through. So it was just amazing if you love gems. So that being said, it's like, you know, in the study of gems, so artists just love it. It brings brilliance to your work. I just love, I'll show you some of my collection of jewelry in another video, you know, that you'll be able to see. I like using a lot of gems of all colors, but the way that you want to judge your gems in thinking about this is the 4 C's. And the 4 C's are the cut, the color, the clarity, and the carat. So that's the 4 C's. Now, you know, many people are talking about diamonds. I don't talk diamonds. I love diamonds, but I love I'll show you the diamonds I love. I love the B quality, I love the C quality. The diamonds that have deposits in there, the diamonds that look like shale are the kind of diamonds that I like. So if you're interested in pieces like this, you might want to hear more from what I have to say. So my studies through the past few years of collecting, working with, building gems, I found that I really love the lightest weight carat that has the most beautiful cuts in there that can really give you this brilliant shine, luminescent shine. So I'm wearing pieces today, and I'll show you some close-ups in a bit, that really have some deep faceted cuts into them. And that is the first thing that I want to talk about. It's the first C, is the cut. So how a gem is shaped and polished, and how the light will shine through these cuts. And a well-cut gem maximizes brilliance and sparkle and gives you fire and brilliance. That is so beautiful to look at. So the cut is so important, but in a different way. You know, I'm talking about here, one of my favorites is tourmaline. I've got feldspar, blue zircon to talk about. I've got mixed beryl, which is mixed beryl is actually a mix of the same type of gems that I have here, and those are aquamarine and morganite and pieces like that that have beautiful facets in them that are so gorgeous. Imperial topaz I have. So I'm talking about gems that are brilliant and beautiful, and you can use them in your work, and they're easy to set. You know, and give you exactly what you need without paying diamond prices, you know, and they're still so valuable. So the cut. I really like these a little bit more shallow pieces. So there's cabs and there's faceted. The cabs are like a capstone. They're easy to set. They're a cab, which is just a well-rounded, there's not facets cut into there. They're still beautiful. They have the beautiful shine, you know, of like kyanite has a beautiful liquid shine on the surface. Emeralds have a beautiful liquid shine. So even if they're not faceted, they have a liquid surface. So the faceted pieces are what I love in my work. And the way the facets are cut is so there is depth to your piece and the brilliance shines through. So, you know, you could either, like, of course, the deep facets that are cut into there, the deep stones, they're gonna be a lot more expensive and have a lot more weight to them. So, you know, sometimes what I like to do, if I can find I can have my gem cutters cut beautiful facets in a lighter weight, which we're talking about carats now. So we're talking about carats is actually the 4th C, but I'll talk about that now. So carats is the weight of the gem. And it's, you know, you're gonna pay, oh my gosh, anywhere from $40 a carat, $5 a carat, $100 a carat. You know, I actually like to keep my pieces that I have beautiful and brilliance that I sell through my site. I like to keep them like $5, $6 a carat because, and then sometimes it's going to be a little bit more, you know, for the quality. But I really like to keep this usable to jewelers and artists who are using gems in their work, because why not? You need to get in there and play around. So what I like to do is to keep my carats lighter. There's stones that are lighter, like actually rainbow tourmaline is a lighter weight. So you get, it's expensive, but you get a lot more per carat because it's so light. And Kyanite is pretty light, you know, and they can be cut shallow. So I like to get these a little bit more shallow cuts with facets in them because their carats are lighter. And then I just build them with, you know, I can build them high, but I just put a holder underneath them. And you'll have to get onto one of my jeweler's videos on setting gems to see how I work with flatter gems, you know, in my work. So that's carats, to try to keep them a little lighter, build them higher up in the air, you know, unless you're really getting a lot of money for your jewelry work. This keeps your work reasonable, profitable. So that's carats. The second one actually is color. I talked to you about the fourth one. Second one is color. So the color of your gemstone is the hue, the tone, the saturation. That impacts like the value and what you're looking at. Really, it's like all these words that I can talk about that are fancy and swanky. You're gonna know how to look at your gems. I'll show you some close-ups in a little bit, but you're gonna know how to look at your gems. When you can hold it up to the light and see vibrancy come through it, you know, you know what you like and how it's going to look in your work. I do many things to, you know, to be able to see the shine come through of my bezel setting. So one of the, you know, a couple of the things that I do is sometimes you'll see I cut out the whole back of my silver. If you're a jeweler and you're setting your gems, I cut out the whole back and suspend my gem in there, and I have gem videos, you know, I have videos in here too of how to set a gemstone in your jewelry. So I suspend them, and so the light can come through. So if I'm wearing earrings or a necklace or anything like that, this one is cut out, and I'll show you closer. But, you know, I can have the light shine through so you can see the hue and the brilliance of your piece. Another thing that I do, if I'm building, I work a lot with hollow forms and, you know, building up height. So another thing that I really love to do is put foil, gold foil, silver foil under my stone, because that helps to keep it light. It doesn't get oxidized under there, helps to keep it light, and it really shines the brilliance through. So that's another way, and I also have a film of that too. So all of these are on my site that you can check out if you're interested in setting some stones. And so that's the color. I have gotten stones like, you know, I've gotten some of my stones in where I really had to shine a light through it to be able to see the beautiful color of it, which isn't necessarily good to do because you set that stone, and even though it, like, especially I'm thinking hesonite, you know, and garnet, when they get too deep of a color, like too deep of a red in those two colors, you're not really going to see the beautiful light shine through. It's almost like a black stone, you know. So sometimes what I'll do, if I have like black onyx, that's opaque. If I have an opaque stone, which means it's not transparent, if I have an opaque stone that I'm setting, I many times will set the facet on the top. So they're meant for the facet to be set on the top so you can still catch the light on these pieces, you know, and see the shine in there. So that's how you want to set these really deep hues when you have these in your stone. And I have a couple of these here too. You know, so sometimes too deep of a color is not going to be the best for you. You know, as an artist, I teach a lot of workshops on business, on building your body of work. And really what it's all about is you want to pick your gems from the heart. You want to pick your you know, on what you love to work with, what you love to see, what you love to build with, because when you love something, you have an easy time selling it and you have an easy time working with it. So that really is where you want to start with. I always say pick your gems intuitively, and we'll talk a little bit about the qualities in just a minute. The third is clarity of a stone, of a gemstone. The third is clarity. So this refers to the presence and visibility of inclusions, how transparent it is, what's on the surface, you know, so it really is about inclusions. Now, I love inclusions. That's what I love, you know. So these are the type of stones that you're going to find in my shop in Shopify, which I do hand pick out and curate beautiful stones here. You know, I just wanted to talk a little bit about my learnings and what I know and where I come from in putting together collections for you in my Shopify store, you know, for artists. If you want to try out some, you know, you can get it at a pretty good price. So with clarity, I love just, you know, where it looks like nature on the inside. I have feldspar that's actually in, you know, I like to keep around that it almost looks like little plant surfaces in this transparency. I love inclusions that are in my rainbow tourmaline. I have beautiful mixed Beryl that I have beautiful, they just look like molten glass, you know, with beautiful facets in there. So you'll have to take a look at these, but that really is, you know, what the gems are about, you know, is picking from your heart. And I'm going to show you, I'll show you in a minute, a little handful of everything. But in, you know, in some of my collections that I get, there's like blue zircon, which are cut like chips, that are gems that you maybe have never heard of, but they're so beautiful and have such clarity that, you know, it's not like they're supposed to look like aquamarine, but they're just as beautiful and stand side by side with aquamarine. So that's kind of cool. So, you know, in science, I like to really talk about the qualities of the gemstones. I am a complete believer in that. I actually, you know, after spending time in India, and actually I studied Kundalini yoga, and it's about the energies on the yoga part. We're not jumping around, you know, it's all about energy work, breath work, and how to use energies in your life, which is what Kundalini yoga is all about. So, you know, for me, I can see where, you know, it's where qualities in these gemstones and, you know, all of this is really very practical. The Indian culture, you know, the people there's so many cutters there that know how to cut and work with these stones that were created from minerals, but also the qualities are so apparent too. You know, they really can help you and give you clarity. And it really is the way the scientists do know that these minerals that are made from minerals, they react to light, they react to heat, they react to all of this. You know, they're moving molecules, or not just dead molecules, they're moving molecules that shift and change just like us. So really with the qualities of like blue zircon, I know when I'm really attracted to a specific gem, like really the rainbow tourmaline, I still can't get enough of. Those are the pinks and these beautiful blues, and it's always like a water-like surface. I like using them flat, I like using them faceted, and these actually are these beautiful, oh my gosh, I always talk about them. They're these beautiful pieces that are really for heart openers. You know, they're the pinks and the greens, and people wear these and they're attracted to them for these heart openers, right? To find more love in your life, to bring in love of your work and all of that. So blue zircon is another one that I've been really excited about lately, and these invite in truth and clarity and open communication. And it actually resonates with the throat chakra. So, you know, all of these gems work through the different chakra centers, which we talk about in Kundalini Yoga. So I know it's things that are just coming over to America, you know, a lot about the chakras, a lot about the deeper work that we're doing in yoga, a lot about, I mean, I teach a whole business program on the energetic values, the practical of business with the whole energetic values, and building your work 90% behind the scenes and then adding in the 10% real physical stuff, you know. And I'm really getting to see a lot of people successful with, you know, another one is building a body of work. And it's like, you know, the things that I teach are to really use the gems, the materials, the anything that you're attracted to, because your work is going to be more powerful if it is intuitively more about your authentic self, right? We hear these words all the time now, your authentic self. So I just wanted to give you a little rundown on how I put together my collections of gems and off my site. I have a very, what I love and what's important to me in business and why I just talked to you about business is that it's important to me this time around doing business because what I do is I am, with my company now, it's like I'm a business support system and for artists and creators all over the world. It's like my background, I built products for the arts and craft field, and gems are a product, but they're a beautiful, beautiful product. My jewelry is a product, but it's a beautiful product. So what I do is I put together collections and I start to build with my work. And this is, my company here really is a good support system for gems. I work hand in hand with a beautiful, very small company in India. It took me a while to find my builder and, my cutter. And I can tell, I only will do good business. So for me, I only want to do business with somebody who matches the same energy as me. It's like it's not going to do me good to do business with someone who's just all about the money. I'm about the value, putting good into the world, putting the love behind it. And so I love my cutters. They're the same way, very ethical. So when I get gems from him, we work hand in hand. We get the best gems out here in my Shopify store. And we're getting the good quality, and we're both happy about it. And it feels good to be able to work with a partnership and have be able to get what I need, and of course to honor what they need too. So that's what I do with the gems. And to me, it's like the energy is in the gems, all of us working together. So how can we help to not have this beautiful energy of the gems in our life? In fact, the first time when I came back with a very small bag full of gems, it was like 5 years ago when I was going to start really working with gems. I put them by my bedside and I dreamt and I slept and I ate, and I dreamt just of what I was going to build. And I felt I could feel it shifting and changing me. And I was like, something about these gems are powerful to me. So you be the judge of your own work. As artists, we're way more sensitive and, to what's happening in the world more than most people. So it's been really fun building these. And if you're interested in bringing gems into your life, come and check out my Shopify store. The link is below, and you'll be able to see my style and what I do here and what we have. This is Blue Zircon. Oh my gosh, this is one of my very favorites. I love the way that it's chipped away. To me, it really, it looks a lot like aquamarine, but it actually has a whole different color to it. It has a nice liquid to it, a nice surface. The edges are so gorgeous. I love that it's flat, nice and flat. It's going to be easy to set. This doesn't have the facets. This also is considered similar to a chip or a cab, but it's a very new cut and so unusual. And I love using unusual cuts because, I just feel like, if you're drawn to something, you use it. And the more unusual a piece is and unusually cut, you'll be able to do well with it because people haven't seen it before. But this is one of my favorites right now. You're going to see a lot of my pieces set in this way. And these are all set up on my site right now, so I just have a little bit left of my own collection. This is actually a citrine in the same way. Oh my gosh, they're just beautiful, but you can see the shine. So if you're wearing this as jewelry, the light is going to hit these, especially if you suspend them inside of a bezel, which I show you how to do. So that's a beautiful one. This actually, another one that's so unusual that I saw this time. These are square set. I'm going to get a film done. Maybe there'll even be one up by now, but this is actually called a pink, this is a pink stone. This is a pink amethyst. And these are faceted in the square cuts. You can see the nice deepness to them. It'd be nice to facet them either way. They're going to sparkle, whether they're, from under, and they're so transparent. So this is going to be a nice cut. I like putting silver under. It's really going to enhance, the way the cut is and the color is. And it's just a beautiful light transparent. So, you know, there's so many different ways. This one, actually, I love these little rainbow tourmalines. You can see the surface. I don't get them faceted. Sometimes I do, but with this set, I don't. You can see beautiful blues and greens and all different colors in here. I want to show you one of my favorites with this collection too. Oh, let me make sure. See, this is why I really just wait to do one of my very favorites. This actually is a nice little collection that I talk about. I have quite a few of this on the website. I was really excited. Oops, not about this one. This one is mixed beryl, and what mixed beryl is, there's aquamarine in here. You can see the deepness of the color. You can see the beautiful facets in here. These are set with facets so beautiful and deep, and you know, there's a lot of dimension to what it looks like inside here. But I love the roughness of it. You can see a lot of inclusion. So that means the clarity has a lot of inclusions. These are considered B grade, but to me, they're the best you can find. So you're gonna find also a lot of my work using these type of stones. And the metal around them really kind of enhance what the gem looks like. So that's pretty cool. These are so beautiful. Let me pull these up. These are so beautiful. This is a celestial crystal, and they just have so many inclusions in them that, you know, they make it so beautiful. This has the pink inclusions in them, which I love, using the reds, the same that I love using the rainbow tourmaline, you know, so these are great. I want to show you also, this is kyanite. These are cabs. I decided to use a lot of cabs because the cabs can be so liquidy and so beautiful. You can see the liquid surface of kyanite. And these are, oh my gosh, you put foil behind there, and such a beautiful deep stone is transparent. So I love, the things that I love about these is that they're shallow. So they're not going to cost a lot of money, but they're also shallow, where if you set some foil back behind here, you're going to just get some brilliance coming up through. So you're going to see me doing this with a lot of my work too. There's a kyanite. They're cabs, so they're so easy to set. And these are the, oops, this is the kyanite in green, which are also, you get this beautiful liquid surface, these long shapes. These are cabs also. So, you know, it's like there's not, I love cabs. I love faceted, I love cabs. The thing about these is that they're liquidy, you know, and really you put the foil behind them and you're gonna get such brilliance in your colors. And so that's, yeah, what I wanted to show a lot of too. It's like I do have, this is the Imperial Topaz. I just have a little bit left. This is all pieces that I kept behind for myself to work with, but I do have this on the site. This is the Imperial Topaz. Topaz is such a beautiful, shiny stone, and these are cabs also. So they're so easy to set, but they give you that beautiful brilliance to them, like liquid. So there's a number of different ways. You know, you're gonna find faceted pieces, you're gonna find cabs in here. And sometimes I like to keep around. This is actually from a friend of mine in Alaska. He actually cut me, these are very ancient, excavated from the ground fossils. He's Native American Indian, so he's able to pull up this type of material. And these are ancient walrus teeth that are sliced, and you can see just the depth, and these are worn for power, you know? So isn't that interesting? It's like I love all the different, the shines and the facets along with the ancient. So that's kind of just a little bit of the collection that I have here, you know, and how to look at the gems.